Okay. Seems like Restream was just having a bit of a fit. Hello, welcome. Sorry for issues. They happen. Not much I can do about them. Welcome to the Harmonious Magineering single-player world that I've been playing on for the better part of the last few months. I was just in the middle of exploring because I wanted a good supply of iron, which I have since gotten. And coal is also very useful. We're getting close to the steam age, so, or the, the steel age. So it's like, okay, I should start trying to figure out how to get these resources. If you are wondering how I am flying, I made the Raven Cloak from Eidolon. Not super terribly difficult, badly, whatever. It is what it is. It's fine. It's just, it is what it is. I don't know. I think my music might be a tiny bit too loud. So we are going to head home. And once we get home, we can talk about what all I have planned build-wise, because I do have things planned. I started planning this out last night, and then I was like, you know what? I should probably wait and stream this, because building on stream is one of my favorite ways to build, just because I can get input from y'all in real time. So here's the outline of the factory, but let me drop some stuff off at home real quick. Things have changed around here just a teeny tiny bit. So the house is all the same. Nothing really too different. I did build a downstairs. The downstairs here has a minecart hopper unloader for my blast furnaces. I'm using embers at the moment to pull items out of here. There's a redstone signal going into this block, so that's how that's happening. And then everything gets dumped into here. You can see the hoppers under there. There's 5 hoppers, 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and then 1 that goes right through the middle. And then this is all manual input still, but it is better than nothing. And currently this is how I'm ore processing, so that I at least get 1-to-1 on some of my ores. Whoops. Start cleaning some of this stuff up, and then we will start looking into building. I finally am restocking on my cobblestone. Also, the Deep Aether mod has added a new brass dungeon variant, which is really cool. And as a result, I went and stole pretty much all these bricks, because they are great. I love these bricks. Like, how can you not? They look almost... I was really hoping they would look more so, and maybe they do compared to the Create ones, actually. Let me see. See, like, I feel like they aren't too far off, but they're almost green enough that Tough kind of fits in there, too. I don't know. They frustrate me. The thing that they match the most, unironically, is zinc. They are zinc-colored. And you can't convince me otherwise, but zinc doesn't have a decoration. Zinc just makes copycat blocks. And sure, of course, these two look pretty okay. but it's a little frustrating. I like these, and I want to build with them. We'll get to it. We shall get to it. Where's my drink? Here's my drink. So yeah, there's plenty of good building blocks. Just need to figure out how to use them well. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday, or Monday, depending on where you are. Probably Sunday, knowing my audience. I don't need the zombie heart from Eidolon. The andesite pillar was just a test block. I was really hoping, right now what I want to do, just because I know we're going to need it, I want to make more slime balls this way, because I have an excess of walnuts. And so I've been making tons of nut butter bottles. But at this point, I need lime dye. And I do have a cactus supply, so I guess I could do that. Anyways, let me finish putting these things away, because I need to walk you guys through some of the changes I have made as of late. That can go in there. I've got building block now. Do I not have that smithing template for the sentry armor trim? I really would have expected that I did. Apple, unless... No, that's fine. How are we doing over here? I was going to say, once these get full, they'll just distribute slowly. They're basically just in the order at which they are done. So, but that's why we have tiny coal. Anyways, basement has been shown off. I have got some create things. So to walk you through the flow, if you aren't familiar with this mod pack, which I don't blame you at all. I think last time we were chatting, we were working through a lot of the Sanguine Sacrifice stuff. And so this stuff is particularly slow to get through, I suppose. There's also, if you are uncomfortable with bodily harm or self-harm or just blood as a whole, there is an option to entirely skip this quest chapter, and it just gives you the item you're going to need next. Because I totally understand and I don't want to alienate anybody if they don't find this mod to vibe with them. We, mostly me off camera on my own time, have been playing through this and getting through the contents of this quest chapter. So we have made our weak blood orb, our apprentice blood orb. I went to the antechamber with you guys last stream. We made our alchemical reaction chambers. We got our tower fruit and grew them. We got some Hellforged metal, I think, but I've since made the full-sized Endless Realm portal, which I will go show off in a bit. Hey, how's it going, Elpec? And then Embers is weird and kind of difficult to get through, I find. Oh, you're good. You're good. I am fine. I am sick and tired of... Scroll wheel should not do this and then this with shift. I can drag. You just click and drag. Why is that? Zoom. I don't need anything. Anyways. So Embers is weird. It's great, but it's a little bit rough around the edges. So there is a lot of optional work that you can do, but on average, you don't have to do much in Embers if you don't want to. And so I kind of just flew right through it because I did a lot of Embers my last playthrough of this pack when I was testing it. And we have materials, but I kind of want to get into tech because I've been playing this mod pack for a while. What is it? Time played? Where is it? Oh, chests opened from... Player kills. Sneak time. I've been sneaking for 2.78 hours. 46,960 jumps. That does track. But yeah, Alpec, I have been doing good. Yeah, time played. I walked right past it several times now. So yeah, time with the world open, time played 3.6 days. So it's a lot of time. It's 86 hours. A little over 2 full work weeks. So in that time, I have rearranged things and filled in with trees and more greenery. The staircase and stuff here was already there. I've got a dedicated kind of old school slab style tree farm for walnut trees because I really wanted to kind of more efficiently grow walnuts and have a dedicated space for that. The salmon berries grow like crazy, so I have just left a tiny spot for them. I've expanded out this way and built a automatic sugarcane farm. This is just the vanilla mechanism for it. I'm using these really pretty framed elevated slope edges and then copycat slabs that can be placed vertically because I already had copycat blocks around. So yeah, this is just using the vanilla mechanism. I've just got an observer. It's basically just 3 observers. This observer gets ticked whenever sugarcane grows here. Then this observer changing state triggers this observer changing state triggers this one outputs into the piston, which then breaks it, and then it technically goes twice. It fires once for when the sugarcane grows, and fires a second time for when the sugarcane has been broken. An example is that. Surprised that managed to slip through. And then this is getting picked up. I could use backpacks. I just don't like using backpacks. Like, I love backpacks, but backpacks feel like a cheaty, lazy-ish way to get around vanilla mechanisms that already exist for the same purposes. So there's just a minecart rail down here that picks everything up from underneath. And then it weevils all the way around through here, picks up stuff there, and then gets blocked by me because I'm apparently too slow to get out. That's okay, that'll do it. So that picks up most of the sugarcane. Every now and then it'll fall too close to an edge where those rounded loops make it miss that piece of, or that block, but it's fine. These verdant froglights from a loot chest somewhere, and I really love the froglights, so I incorporated them as much as possible, and yeah, I don't know, just built this up. I grabbed these blight willow stairs or blight willow planks and logs from the... By the way, there is technically space up here, but I didn't want to use it, and I wanted a sloped roof, so I kind of made it pretty on the inside and left it empty. I wanted a nice chain of light to be available all the way through. But these are from the Aether, and I really like them. I think they're really pretty, and they look eerily similar to copper. Like, they just look like a different kind of copper. If I put these two next to each other, you can kind of see what I mean. So I like using this in place of like almost like a copper sheet metal kind of look. I don't know, it works for me a lot. And then I made a farm because we needed wheat and I just wanted to start getting some farm materials together. So it is a very crude, loose form farm. I feel like square 9x9 farms are so very last generation. Not really. If you make one, I'm not going to judge you. I'm a terrible builder when it comes to some people out there. It's just my personal taste. Got everything lit up with lanterns, and there's this birch tree that grew here before I got the farm started, and I was able to work around it, so I did. You can see it is fully ready to harvest again, but it is a full mix of tomatoes and industrial hemp and lettuce, cabbage, not lettuce, tomatoes, cabbage, onions, and wheat. And then I've done some minor work to the resource pack, not too much, but shadows are now square. Shadows should not be round. Shadows should also not be perfectly pitch black. I don't know why they are. So they are now a tiny tinge of dark blue instead, although they're so translucent that you can't really tell, but there's no such thing as a pure black, except for like Vanta black is the closest thing, but it doesn't occur naturally in lighting in nature. My wife has been teaching me so much about color theory over the last 5 or so years. And so these things stick with me when I make textures and when I work on things overall. Wheat dough. Yeah, this recipe is going to be useful. Anyways, we need to build a factory for Create. I've already scoped out where I want it to be because I want it to be far enough that I can have blocks between me and it so that render culling can take into effect, because creates blocks are very stupid when it comes to rendering in a different way in a different world entirely. I started by building out something symmetrical, but I knew that I wanted this to be really tall and really like multi-level. So I want a basement, and I also want it to be tall on the outside, especially probably using some bricks or brick-ish materials, because I haven't had a chance to use any of those lately. And then as I was building this, you can see it's perfectly symmetrical. I've got rooms cordoned off a little bit. These are just going to be little nooks. I've got two actual full rooms here, one here and another one on the other side. A back room, which is again just the front room, but in the back. And then I haven't figured out how to incorporate this, or if I'm going to incorporate this, or if I just want to break these and then just make it sort of separated like that and call it a day. I'm thinking maybe something more like this. You're gonna have to go, unfortunately, little guy. If you know my building style, you know that I'm gonna tear down a bunch of nature around here, and then once I'm done building and I don't have to keep working around it anymore, I will end up bringing all the nature back in, regrowing the trees that are local to the area, filling in some bone meal, building bridges around, whatever. So yeah, I'm thinking basement, and I'm thinking this will be, because of how steep this slope is, I'm thinking this is going to be, this right here will be the floor for the first floor. And then anything down below is all going to be basement, and then everything above will be above. And because create blocks are so hard to disguise, I'm thinking we're going to have a gap between the actual ceiling of the basement and the floor of the first floor. So that way we have room for everything, honestly. But I need to build, and I need to come up with a color palette. I haven't done that yet. In fact, I don't even know that I have a good supply of clay. I don't remember. I've been playing all the mods 10 with friends lately, so my memory's a little bit foggy as to what resources we have. But I have been playing this last night and this morning. There's this stuff, which I do think is really going to be our material of choice. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of variations. There's the lit nimbus stone, which barely, if at all, produces a light output. It's hard to tell, to be honest. You're out of fuel. Yeah, I figured as much. Let's fix that. Oh, wait, I already have fuel down here, don't I? I do indeed. My tiny coal textures make me very happy, I'm not gonna lie. If I put that there, are you going to actually know how to put that in? No, okay. I was going to say, you're probably not, but we'll try. I was correct. I'm going to put, I think I've got enough hoppers because I had hoppers on these guys and now I don't need them anymore. I'm going to grab said hoppers and put them on the fronts. What did I use my hoppers on? Where did my hoppers go? I have no idea. That's fine. Hoppers are cheap. And that way we can keep these guys fueled consistently. Sorry, I'm real weird about making sure that everything is split as perfectly as it can be. And so now these will stay fueled and do everything they need to do to get this iron smelted. Anyways, I had a lot of coal that I needed to compress too, I just remembered. Three, 4.5. I don't even know how I got this many emeralds. How did I get these emeralds? Where did these come from? Have I just been mining them that often? I don't have villagers for trading with. Come on. Figure your rendering out. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't really been doing any trading. I don't know what they're from. But yeah, I have building materials that I need to use, that I plan on using, I should say. So we'll toss those in here. Those back. I think I've got mushrooms stored over here. I freaking love these mushroom textures. They make me so very happy. Bricks. That's what I was stopping myself in asking earlier. Clay. Oh, okay, good. I have clay. I need to smelt this clay rather immediately. But then the catch-22 here is I could go through a whole bunch of coal to smelt all of this. Or I could quickly throw together... I've got some create stuff. I don't have a lot of create stuff, but I've got some create stuff in chests. I can quickly make a setup and see if I can get that to smelt this clay down for me. I'm on the fence on that one. I'll throw a brick. One of the concerns that I had, and part of why I've decided to build something, I kind of just wanted to shove this in a basement because I might create stuff in a basement because I'm lazy. So I built water wheels back here. You can see it doesn't even match up because this is a even width and I think also length. No, it isn't. Even width room, and then this would be odd because big water wheels are 5x5. And I noticed immediately a huge dip in FPS, which does not surprise me at all. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. And so I had considered the possibility of... I'm going to sleep so that these blast furnaces work quicker. I'd considered the possibility of... Thanks for that. Shoving that down here, and ended up not doing that, as I've been trying to mention this whole time. So, I do have a lot of things. I even made brass, managed to get brass crafted up. But I am now at the point where I think we do need that extra space. But that means I have a bunch of things, and one of the things that I think I should be able to make in theory with what I have on my person is a encased fan and encased so there's the encased fan. I don't need this anymore. You can go away because I don't know why, but I cannot. This get lucky is BS. You cannot get lucky. There's no such thing. So you and you will require some plates, which I do have one of. Then there is the right sidebar. Number of columns should be like 36. And left sidebar should also be 36. I don't even understand why they impose a maximum. So if I look at, there is a, what is the word I'm looking for? I want to make a device that stores lava, and it is called, shoot, I can't remember what it's called. Ah, here we go. Here we go. This guy, the catalyst. Okay, so that's going to require a deployer. I don't have a deployer. As you may expect, I largely don't want to make one either, so I think for now I will just stick with the lava staying less loosey-goosey. I think that should be fine. But I'm going to put together a very crude auto smelting setup because I think that's going to be super helpful. So encased fan. And I suppose we'll just set it up over here for now. Again, completely temporarily. Since I'm going to have to dig some of this out anyway, we can just kind of get that going. I should have brought stuff for a chest, actually. Hang on. Let's grab 2 chests, and we're going to need a funnel. Right? It's been so long since I played with Create. Nope, we are not doing that right now, so I guess andesite funnel it is. I do really like Create. I just got a little burnt out on it, like I think pretty much the entire world did all at once. So, it's been nice taking a break, I'm not gonna lie. Have these around just in case I need them. I don't think I will. I have a sigil that will give me the lava and water we're gonna need. I may go ahead just for the sake of it. Right, it was, I was running into concerns about the supply of casing that I had, andesite casing. I'd like to consolidate, so I'm going to try to get, like, roseroot and jungle out of here. Oh, that's going to kill those. Don't kill those, thank you. I don't have a lot of room in here for this, I'm not going to lie. Probably should have more room for this. This is a sometimes thing, though, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Okay. And then I'm going to keep on thinking through materials to build with, because there's a lot that I could use. I've become a really big fan of... Oh, which one is it? There's an aether log that I really... Conberry. Conberry has a really pretty plank. That... My number one thinking right now is I don't want to do spruce for, but I do want to do a material that won't immediately conflict with the look of spruce. So that's kind of why I'm thinking a palette like this, where these are definitely different, but not entirely so. Roof, I'm just going to make up like I always do. That's why I want the bricks. I hate roofs, but I also love them because my brain kind of starts getting excited by various ideas once I get into it. What other aether log was there? It's not sunroot. One of these has a... Is it sunroot? Might be thinking of Conberry and then sunroot. I might be wrong about sunroot, but let's see. That has like a really nice... It's not... kind of pinkish tone that's not too annoying. Maybe so. We'll see. We'll play with these ideas. But first things first, I do need to automate the process of smelting, because this is going to suck if I don't. I don't want to use all of my fuel just doing small tasks. Whoop, wrong button. I have a 65% keyboard, so I have to press function to use like F1 through 12. And then I forgot I was still pressing it when I press space, which is a keybind that I've had ever since the first custom keyboard I built, where I could flash my own keybinds. which function space is play pause, and then function up and down arrow are volume, and left and right are next track, previous track, because music has always been a huge part of my life. So let's get a temporary structure built, and then we will get into a permanent structure. I meant to grab something else too. Jeez, it's a good thing I just live right here. And then once we get things going with create, I am going to probably, after we get... That's not a terribly long distance, so that makes me very happy. I am almost definitely going to do a... Why am I saying almost definitely? I know 100% I'm doing a pretty pipe setup. I love pretty pipes, and I love the way that it works. And because that structure over there is not so far, I am going to, in fact, drag my pretty pipes all the way over there for another terminal, just because I am incredibly lazy and do not want to keep walking across the way over and over. But pretty pipes is gated behind the mod that we've already unlocked. So we could get this going now, except brass casing cannot be made manually. You have to use the deployer for this. So I need to redo this texture. This texture looks like straight ass. Language will not be pardoned. This just looks bad. These textures look so good that I don't know what I was doing here. I do really like these textures. I wanted to grab trapdoors, though. That's what I keep coming back over here for and keep forgetting to bring with me when I do. And then with the Pretty Pipes network, we can kind of make an intersection or a fork here to hit up the sugarcane drawer that we have here, so we can just kind of like have a straight line and then a T right here for the sugarcane. That way it's easily accessible from both ends, which should be pretty good. All right. The world's teeniest and tiniest auto smelting setup. Potentially. Bump, bump. And then I also need to piggyback. Did I bring any of the... Yes, I did bring some encased chain drives. Good. Smart. Things that I have learned in Create as I have gone on to use it more and more. Encased chain drives are more FPS efficient than any of the belts are, because belts will always tick for things that fall on them, whereas encased chain drives don't. So it's sort of like putting a non-tile entity chest on top of a hopper. Or no, sorry, a tile entity chest on top of, or tile entity block on a hopper, specifically a container. I don't know why I keep using all of the wrong words. Literally not a single word I've said has been correct so far. It's just kind of along the same lines of efficiency for a purpose. I have to figure out how I want to do this. I also don't really care, because this is entirely temporary, so I'm overthinking it, and I know that. But I'm still going to overthink it. Here, let's just do it over here somewhere, and then we'll just put... a small temporary spot for... I really don't even need that many water wheels. I have, what, 6? I'm only going to use 3, I think. Again, temporary. I'm just trying to be cheap. Should switch over to my silk touch pick. I swear I made this... Oh, yeah, I guess I made it fast enough to insta-mine everything but grass, because I do hate insta-mining grass. The extended reach is getting to the point where it's really annoying, though, because I also have it on my gloves now. So I'm debating whether or not that was the worst idea I think I've ever had. So we'll do... that. We'll do that. Now those are going to start moving. We will gear these guys up. Isn't particularly fast. I'm gonna do this on the other side. Again, am I overthinking a temporary structure? You know it. There I go, overthinking again. Big to small, big to small. If I remember correctly, I can't put this here, can I? Yeah. Alright. That's fine. Because I'm just going to put it behind. Which there's a way to adjust how much the Stratus and Gravitite armor set would shoot you in the air, because it is so very far. Of course. Okay, congratulations, you go here now. I don't care. I just didn't want to wait 8 business days for this to finish. All right, now that I've got that part done, I just need to do this. So we will do... There I go. Screw it, it's temporary, we're using belts. And then I think this is going to be too fast now, so we're going to have to ungear ratio that. And again, overthinking a temporary build. It is what I do for a living. So it feels. Didn't I have encased chain drives? I do, okay. I was gonna say, what the heck happened to them? And so now, I'm betting this is still gonna be too fast. Indeed it is. So what we can do... is sleep. No, what we can do is tear all this apart. And just use the speed that comes out of these, because I think that'll be plenty. Again, I'm breaking my own rules. I don't want to waste iron nuggets on stuff. And as long as the fans receive rotation, they will smelt at the same speed. Because these guys don't have filters. Ugh. My spine. Hey, there we go. And while this is slower than the heat death of the universe, I'm not gonna lie, that actually looks good, having that covered up. While this may be slower than the heat death of the universe itself, there is the ability to pass time by sleeping. And that does, in fact, accelerate things. So let's go steal our hammock and put it down over here instead. Yeah, you know what? I am going to keep my create kind of things over here. Doesn't really matter. And when we split stuff up and have the pretty pipe system, I am going to move all of my create mod stuff over to a chest or vault over there. And then it'll be closer for me when I'm actually in a place where I will probably use it. And that's exactly what I would expect. Why is that there? That do not go there. You go there. So let's go steal our hammock. Unashamedly going to continue to give a shout out to my beautiful tiny coal textures. I'm actually so very proud of them. My ability, I like, not to toot my own horn, but my ability as a texture, or my ability, not, I was going to say as a texture artist, I'm not a texture artist. My ability to make textures has gotten a lot better in the last 3-ish years, and I'm very proud of that. And my wife is a huge help. She actually does not do pixel art, but she's taught me so much about just art and color theory as a whole that it has really been a huge help. So these sleeping bags have to be 4 blocks apart from rope and nail to rope and nail because it is like this. And now we can sleep. And you can kind of hear it. I might rotate this because I kind of want to watch. It is very satisfying. Where can I put this that I could still watch? Here? And so this is slow, but it's going, so I guess you can say it's slow going. Now, so we should start, at least while that does its thing, we should start working on this build a little bit. Because the brick is just going to be for the ceiling, or the roof, so it's actually the very last thing that we have to do. I'm going to take a quick break, because we are at 45 minutes, plus or minus the 8 that I tried to get everything set up. First stream attempt before Restream decided to throw fit, and then plus or minus the 30 minutes I spent getting everything set up again, because I wanted to have 2 different starting screens, one with a timer and one without a timer, so I could eventually just bring up the timer when it was time. So I'm going to go take a quick break. I won't be gone for too terribly long, and I think we'll start building when I get back. See you in just a few. Okay, apologies for the break. I have a pooch. Oh, my controls are inverted. Pooch. She had surgery, I guess, week before last, and you can see the bandaging on her leg that I had to put on, because sometimes she will bother her stitches. She gets them out on Tuesday, so that's good. What are you looking at me for? You already got your cheese. You already got your cheese, stinker. But as a result, my wife had to go up in the shower because it is our lazy Sunday. And so she's hanging out with me so that I can make sure she doesn't damage her leg. Because this one, normally she keeps her wounds like totally fine and doesn't bother them, doesn't upset them at all. But this one is in a spot like basically it's, imagine on your ankle. It was a tumor that she had removed that was on the outside of her like skin. It wasn't like into the meat or anything. But as a result, it's a little irritated because it moves so much and she really hates it. Understandably so. All right, building materials for this new structure. I also like the idea of walnut. I think walnut is a good look. Probably gonna look particularly good with some of our other options here. So that's nice. I think right now my biggest concern... Good. Thank you for selling. I think right now my biggest concern is I need a... There's not enough variations of the Nimbus Stone. I think I might need some sort of a foundational block, and I'm trying to think of what that should be. I don't really know. Nothing immediately comes to mind, which is bugging me. I don't even need half of these items. I'm realizing as I'm looking through, I'm like, why do I have this? Let me go ahead and grab all my create stuff and just put it in this backpack for now, because I am going to eventually migrate it all over. And in the meantime, gosh, why am I struggling with this so freaking bad? I want just like a blue greenish. What create has stone variations of a handful of blocks, but the Scorcha might work. Deep Slate might also work though. Because I don't have any Scorcha, I'd have to go get that, which is fine. Y'all know I don't really care. I will go get building materials. Maybe not my finest choice of foundational block. Let's just do layered. I feel like that almost works, but it's a little too stark, which now makes me wonder. Makes me wonder if like something like cut andesite between these would work. Or maybe the other way around. Like you and then you. And then I'm trying to take a look at our block palette choices. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards this over... I don't think walnut's the right choice. Definitely leaning with conberry and sunroot, and we're gonna need... oh, the range. This gives me plus range, and then so does this. +2 block reach. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, is like a balance. Also, hello and welcome, Ball and Bicycle. How goes it? Because this is going to be such a tall build that the basement is going to be able to have almost a palette of its own, which is kind of what I'm struggling with. Making muffins, heck yeah. So glad you could join. As mentioned earlier, and she's being especially cute now, so I will show her, I have got a pooch who is hanging out with me today because she is a bit of a butt when it comes to wanting to mess with her stitches from a surgery she had almost 2 weeks ago. Stitches come out this Tuesday, so she'll be much happier then. But in the meantime, she's just chilling with me while my wife hops in the shower. We need to go get materials. If we're going to build with these pallets, which I do like these pallets a lot, we're going to need materials. We're going to need... Everyone forgets about the recipe where you can use andesite, or make andesite with diorite and cobblestone. Ironically, I'm also not very thoroughly filled on cobblestone or many of these materials, so... but I do have plenty of this. And then diorite from quartz is not a good deal, because again, right now, I am shortest on cobblestone. But this will help a little bit, because I don't tend... how did I get that recipe wrong? I don't tend to build with diorite all that often. Andesite and granite, though, they are definitely some of my besties. I need more granite, and I need more jasper. Because jasper and granite go really well with bricks for a roof with some variation and noise. So, let's see. These are locked, so I'm just going to empty this so that I can keep an eye on how much we have. I think it may also be time for second backpack, because I need to stop just sifting through random chests. I can move all of my create stuff into another backpack for now. And make this one just for building, on account of I have so many upgrades on this one, and I've got the refill upgrade, so I can pick block and it will pull from my backpack, which I do like quite a bit. Walnut planks, I don't need some. I'm just gonna consolidate them into sticks. We're gonna need to go harvest sunroot logs, which are aether logs, and we're gonna need to harvest conberry. Ooh. Don't hurt yourself with the FPS, EMI. I think I just put away some bone meal in here earlier, which will help. Bones are in plentiful supply, because we've got piles of bones that are bone blocks. So I think we'll be good. Don't know if I've shown you guys the latest batch of things that have been changed in the pack, but I'm gonna need to do a little bit of mining. I think we did this on stream. But if we take the speedy minecarts over to the Magica area, I guess is what I'm gonna call it, I can show off some of the changes. Takes just a teeny bit to get there. That's why we have faster minecarts. Which I think I'm going to try to actually, rather than using the data pack, I might try to figure out a way to do this in Java, just because data packs are not as efficient, even though they are data driven. So this is our inversion pillar that takes us to the Endless Realm. So we have explored the Endless Realm quite a bit and got into the mines even, but just wanted to show that because I did that without you guys. For some reason, it expects me to be spat out underneath. I don't know why. I hate it. I hate the structure that also it spawns with, so I made this to kind of cover it, and then I get a little smack on the forehead, but I can just come out the back. It's whatever. I think I showed this off. This is not my best work, but I've always been terrible at towers, like wizard-styled towers, and I am at least very proud of this one, considering how I usually do really badly. So we have... We'll fly up here real quick and I'll show you. We have... This is a completely different structure that I have since entirely torn apart. I don't want to lose these blocks, but I don't know that I have a choice. There we go. I can do this. So this was an entirely different tower that has 12 skeleton spawners at the top, and I need spawners. Rather, I need skeletons for both Blood Magic and Eidolon. So they are all the way up here at the top. And there's here, if I sneak, we'll see a few of them. We have 8 right here all together, and then we've got those down there that I've covered the tops of so that the skeletons from here don't fall down. That's why these are all slabs. Let's see. I messed that up, and I also want my axe with me. Thank you. So that is at the top. Bonk. They all fall down here. This is the Blood Magic floor, excuse me. With just a few odds and ends. And then I've got a staircase to the second floor, which is my Eidolon floor. And they fall through here, and because Blood Magic gives you blood based on how much health the thing you killed has, they fall all this way, and rather than basically getting down to 1 hit, they fall through a block of water first. That way they only lose half a heart. And then I can maximize my blood or will output from them. And then the top floor is mostly unused, but it is where I did a ember thing once upon a time. Vaguely. Oh, hey, andesite. This is where embers in this pack. Embers is the required route to make your first few andesite alloy, the expensive and painful way. But yeah, towers are something that I really respect when people get them done right, and I think what this tower struggles with, and what I think most do, is I really like the appearance of a tower when there's like a small bridge out to a much shorter tower or like balcony or whatever. Like if you look at, I guess this song is kind of a decent example. If you look at Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom's Hyrule Castle, even Zelda's room or study is a branch off of her room that just has a little bridge across. And I don't know. I ain't no builder. I mostly, as a person who writes and uses and fiddles with mods, I am not the best at building, but I have been getting better over the last 13 years. My first house was all out of dirt and gravel and sand because I didn't even know I could mine trees. So, yeah, I've been getting better. Anyways, endless bone supply. And while I did mention earlier that I don't like using backpacks, I used a backpack because I wanted to be able to avoid anything that's overstacked. So, because skeleton drops are odd. Anyways, those guys will despawn. While we wait, the pooch is conked. Not really. She's actually just kind of staring off into the void. Once we get into... Is it building gadgets in this pack? Is it building gadgets? It is building gadgets. Kind of gross, but also whatever. Once we get into building gadgets, which is one of our next stops, one of our next unlocks, I should say, I will replace and gadget these hallways to make them look better, but there's no sense in doing it by hand. Anyways, let's do tree farming, I guess, and then we can work on the other materials too. Should also grab a chunk loader and go and chunk load that area with the auto smelting. That way it just always stays loaded. And actually, real talk, this is not a terrible place to do farming. But, because I've got so many trees over here that I try not to mess with too much. But I think this will work too. I think Sunroot, I think, is probably... Oh, right, yeah, I forget these are so pretty, but also so large. It's whatever. It's fine. Sunroot is redeemably beautiful for that, so it's fine. But we'll grow these here. I think that should be fine. Don't love that you're eating into the ground, but yes, structure. Trees are now considered a structure, I think, if I remember correctly, so I get that they're not easy. I don't remember when the last time I made a custom tree was. I think I did it once when I was learning how to mod, just because, like, it seems like everyone who does not know how to code and does not have a lot of creativity and are just modding Minecraft because they think it's a good idea or would be fun, when they first do it, it seems like everyone's first consensus is usually like, test all of the ropes, press all the buttons, see what everything does. Okay, what block do you not like? What block do you not like? Hello? Oh, I didn't realize there was still stuff up there. That's probably it. My bad. Large. Holy. 18 logs, it looks like, maybe? Eventually? That's nice. I think the first tree that I ever made, or the only tree I ever made, was like just spruce, but with spruce shaped, but with birch materials, if I remember correctly. Just for fun, just to see how it worked. It has been so long since then, though. I think it's... What year is it? Yeah, it's definitely been over 12 years. It has been a while. But it felt like I was just let loose in a playground. It was kind of fun. How are we doing? We're doing okay. I think that should be fine. I'm hoping that this is the most annoying of the two trees, but also this isn't really that bad. Fortunately, because I've got a million things that extend my range and let me move in different ways, so... Conberry time. I don't remember if Conberry is a pain in the butt, too. I don't think this one's that bad. It doesn't have vines that are eating the grass out from underneath me, so I think that's a good start. We'll see. Let's not do a ton of these either. Let's do, like, maybe 12. Oh. Sorry, I guess this was my planting spot? I don't even remember anymore. There's so many holes in the ground. Whatever. It is what it is. I love that HT's tree chop keeps track of how many logs and so like, or how many cuts you've done. So even if you change what block you're targeting on the same tree, it knows. Like it knows that I've done 5 chops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do love a high quality mod. HT's tree chop is so good. The dynamic Texture grabbing has gotten so much better. Back in 1.18, this was just a generic texture, but now it actually figures out what texture to put here. The shape changes, so like right now there's no other tree block on that block down there. So it is just a single like fence-sized shape, but this one is next to another log, so not only does it show stripped log there, but it also is attached on that side. Such a good mod. It is a must-have for me. Ow. And the tree detection seems to be pretty darn impeccable. Trying to figure out what the sound I was hearing was. My wife is out of the shower and was filling her metal bottle up with ice. Alright, that puts us at 334 Conberry logs. 113 sunroot. That kind of sucks how much sunroot is a pain to harvest. I might have to go to the Aether and farm it straight from there, maybe? You can see how quickly it's just going through. It's so fun. And I really like that mechanism of sleeping rather than having some sort of like time in a bottle mechanism, because you don't have to figure out what is the like central block of this multi-block that makes things work faster. You don't have to do any of the weird sorting out of that. She is free. So yeah, sure, we've got that chunk loaded. Let's go to the Aether and see if we can find a sunroot biome. My poor man Jeffrey over here, or Jeremy, sorry, I didn't even remember your name. I'm so sorry. Has been downgraded so much because I've got the cloak now that lets me do all the cool stuff. I don't know. Just hasn't been completely made useless, but certainly to some degree. I have more charges than he does when it comes to flying. I guess I'm probably just looking for bright orange, like probably over here. Whomp. I have such a large reserve. Well, at least he's not getting replaced by AI or offshored. As a software engineer, both of these things hit close to home, but also don't, because my company is absolutely fantastic and has no plans of doing any of that to anyone. And our offshore devs are so freaking good. And our offshore QA is also incredible. But I have so many of the bouncy air clouds stored up for an elevator that LPEC, while playing my pack, figured out can be used to make a proper elevator, and I was like, oh my god, that's genius. And so, yeah, I love having them around for that, because we don't have any other early game elevators. Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be easier to just cut down pre-cut trees, or pre-grown trees. I don't like doing this, but whatever. I like this color too much not to at least try to farm these somewhat. And here, I will even go so far as to replant. I didn't realize I was leaving behind, Leave. Didn't realize I was leaving behind floating trees. Classic no-no. I should have realized that we already have seen that this is a behavior. Yeah, Aether mod, super nostalgic, of course, but then, like, the 1.20 port and going forward has been really well supported, has been really regularly updated. Add-on mods have been incredible. Like, these planks or these logs that I'm using are from Deep Aether. And then Aether Redux redoes a lot of the texturing and existing mechanisms in the mod so that it feels a little bit more fresh, but not, like, completely unrecognizable levels of such. Sorry, my mouse just decided to freak out for whatever reason. Thanks for that. Get lost. Leave this place. Please leave. Please leave. Look at this man. Look at this little quail. And then, yeah, I was over exploring, and there's now these new structures in the sky that look super sick. Let's go visit one of those, because the boss is not that hard. Get lost. No one likes you. Zephyrs are literally every first Aether player's, or every Aether player's first nemesis. But then the Aether team has been going through and adding sounds to things that didn't have sounds, and just kind of giving everything a good polish around the edges, which has been great. Like that bouncing sound off of the blue air cloud, brand new. Like a legacy mod that has been cared for. It almost makes me wonder, considering how much time and effort they put into these updates. It makes me wonder if, like, something with King B Dogs' hire made it difficult for them to continue working on it as far as, like, ownership and code ownership and code rights and repo rights and stuff. Oh no, just makes me curious. I'm not here to get into drama. That's too much for me. But it does make me interested. I do feel like brass dungeons are way too common. Mind you, I'm playing on a non-public build of this pack, so it's not like this has gone out to the public and is ready for everyone to deal with. I think this may have been the first one that I found. So this one may already be defeated. It is. You can tell because there is no floor. We'll go to this one. It's a frickin' dragon. But also is, what's the, Eater of Worlds? Splits into new heads whenever you break it apart, not at the head or tail. You have to be careful. If you leave, it will restart the fight. I also need to figure out how to make it so that they don't each drop a shader grab bag. Might just disable shader grab bags. I think they're kind of lame. Come on. Gosh, their hitboxes are so shifty sometimes. There we go. Yeah, okay. I try to collect all of the Aether gear when I can, but... definitely a degree of it that's just not worth dealing with. Let's see, anything interesting? I don't know what the antidotes are supposed to do. Unless it's antidote for poison, but I already have the feather of warding, geez, words. I don't know. Anyways, these are fun. I like this boss a lot. I think they really did a great job with it, considering knowing how entities are and having to keep references to other existing entities. It's not easy, so props. For sure, props. Boing. Hi, Jeremy. Be good. Right, I don't have an armor stand for those yet. So I've got leggings, boot. I just need helmet. Dungeon. Brass dungeon, Stormforged loot chest, dungeon reward chest. Okay, it's whatever. That's not the goal of today. I have a place for my totems. I don't know why those are here. So yeah, the whole gang is here, except for parts of you. I may end up swapping you out with the Stormforged. We'll see. Because I don't want to go back to bronze dungeons. The slider is such a pain to fight. Not even difficult, just slow. Okay, so we have materials now that I'm pretty happy with. I just need more andesite / diorite and cobble, and I need more deep slate. I might make, let's see, 3 minutes of haste for the matcha latte, 3 minutes and 30 for an iced matcha latte, 2 minutes and 30 for azalea. I do have a good bit of matcha. Just don't have a cow, but can I use a bottle of milk? I can, okay. Let's bring this and go get milk from the neighborly cows, because I don't actually keep cows, but there are some up here on this hill. At least they were. I may have stayed loaded for long enough that they have since just kind of done whatever they want to do. Which is exactly why they are free to stay here. Nope, they are still here. Look at these cutie patooties. $23, so we'll do this a couple more times. I think this should be... I know that this will be enough. I just want to also still have some left over. Free range, just like the company I work for. Yeah, I get most of my leather from... I'm having a total brain fart. What do I get most of my leather from? Where have I gotten most of my leather from? I have a good bit. It's mostly been from, no, not this recipe. I did this recipe for a little bit, and then there is this. So whenever I find any leather armor, I will take it, and then there is a 50% chance that if you explode something, a piece of armor specifically on the ground, using Pneumaticraft's explosion crafting, it will give you the repair material for that material if it exists. So that works for a lot of things, which is great. And that, for the most part, between this or that, usually I do this because I get more, but it does depend, has been my means. I don't think I've hunted any hoglins, to my knowledge. Don't mind the cursed models. They tend to fix themselves, but sometimes they don't. This man has no head. Yeah, I'm just... Entity model features is not perfect. Rather, people's rendering of entities is not perfect. Perfectly compatible with EMF and ETF. It's really no one's fault. It's me deciding to do some weirdness. All right, matcha latte. Oh, that needs a honey bottle. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. I mean, that makes sense. Okay. Don't like it. Just because I don't have any honey. Okay, fine. I don't want to do this, but fine. It's okay. I've got a free-range bee's nest out here that I've been leaving alone up until now. Thought I had another way that I was getting that, but I don't remember. Or did I turn all of it into sugar for what? I don't even... I was gonna have an answer of what for, but I don't. I have no idea. Yeah, I do not have any honey. That's unfortunate. I don't use honey a lot, so it's fine. I just want the haste so that I can more quickly mine certain things. Specifically the andesite and deep slate. Well, what were the structures that had the honey in it? Honey block. I can technically use create to pull honey out of a hive. I don't know where all my bees went either. I haven't done anything to hurt the bees, obviously. Archaeology loot for the jungle ruins? Yeah, no chance that's a reliable way. Chest loot, sunken, illager mansion, creeping crypt. I'm gonna need more reliable loot chances on this, thanks. They do. Candlemaker's house is actually not a bad bet. Wandering trader cart, I think, is where I've gotten some of mine. I need this. I need 103.4% chance of 2 honeycombs. Whatever. One's probably fine for now. Just put that there. I should really have a refrigerator for my milk, but I don't feel like it. Yeah, no, that's not interesting at the moment. Yeah, I don't know where all my bees went. That makes me a little sad. I have been thinking about keeping bees in this area, though, to help pollinate the crops. Ooh, I am very stuck. Hello? Thank you. Whatever. It's fine. It's all good. Let's go check in on this, and then let's go get... I don't really need this, but whatever. Let's go get some deep slate. We're doing. That's not bad. Just watch these items spit across the conveyor belt. Soak touch? Soak touch. Okay, good. I guess for now I will just mine any of the andesite that I find in the mine shaft here, because I really don't need this mine shaft as much as usual. I don't use a lot of resources. This pack is not one of those where you need a million of thing to actually enjoy the pack. Go ahead and mine the Jasper while I'm here. I was really hoping to wait for pneumatic craft to need a lot of these materials, so I'm not gonna go crazy. But pneumatic craft does have the vein mining tool bit system that's really good for odds and ends, which I really thoroughly enjoy it. That's usually the jackhammer is usually the tool that I keep all the way through the end of my playthrough in this pack, because I like... Pneumatic craft is really annoying until it's really fun, at least for me. Once you get things kind of taken care of themselves, it's way less annoying to continue using it and playing with it. So it's like, okay, this sucks. And then you get to a point where you no longer have to make sure things aren't going to explode. And then you get to sit back and relax. So it has me wondering, like, if that's just me, if that's kind of the general consensus, that people just got so tired of the early game pneumatic craft grind that they never bothered to figure out how much fun it can be. It just offers so many interesting and distinct solutions that other mods don't, which isn't to say that other mods are causing a gap that's missing. It's just more of a, I didn't even know I wanted this to be automated, but it is, and I love that. So... And in this pack, I think it's the only means of wireless, wireless to the player RF transfer for, like, charging flux-based gadgetry. I'm pretty sure it's the only one. because I don't think we have flux networks. No, we do not. Shale can stay here. I don't like shale. Ooh, tin is actually very much needed. Forgot how much I like my very slight touch of change to the color of tin in this pack. Very minor, but I do really enjoy it. Let's see. How much jasper are we really gonna need? I don't probably no more than like 4 stacks or so. I doubt even that much, considering how many bricks we're gonna make. Did I make it so that clinker bricks can be made without... No, okay. I need to change that. I need to change that, because if I make clinker bricks, they will not be permitted. And that is annoying, because they are a building material. Here, let's change that real quick. Let's see, I am looking for a specific folder. And I don't see the folder, so I'll just do this. And then I'm actually, there's not even that. I need global stages.json exceptions. Event.add immersive engineering exceptions. And then we will do... I will bookmark things that I want to be considered an exception, and then we should be able to... Slag, I think you can only get from that, so that's fine. Clinker bricks should be allowed. Coke brick should not. Jump cushion should not. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. The sheet metal should be all permissible. Except for maybe... we'll see. Is there a EMI bookmark file? I can't remember. EMI.css in the config folder, but that ain't it. That's not what I'm looking for. It's not this, is it? Oh, it is this. Okay. Specifically, this includes a lot of things that I had from a testing world. There we go. Slag and slag brick Slab sheet metal, steel should definitely stay disabled. We'll delete the duplicate lines. No, I didn't mean to save you. Plate lead, plate steel, assault. What are these? I don't remember doing these, whatever. Slab sheet metal. Yeah, these are all fine. Add those in to the tag list. Slab sheet metal, uranium, silver, nickel, lead, iron, electrum, copper. Electrum actually is not going to be obtainable until you get through it. Same with Constantin. But let's see. Copper, gold, iron, lead, nickel, silver, uranium. Those are all vanilla material or accessible materials. And then you'll hit a different thing, but that's fine. I think that's fine. I think that's good. And now I should no longer lack the knowledge. Reloading does take a little bit. There we go. So now most of these are fine. The chutes I specifically don't want to be unlockable because they do serve a functionality. They are not just for appearances. Then steel sheet metal, you're going to be gated out of steel anyway. So, like, good luck. But then slag bricks again, you're not gonna not be able to do that. But the hempcrete stuff is all good. Kiln brick, yeah, I mean technically you can make it, but you shouldn't. Yeah, I think this is all fine. And then yeah, clinker bricks are great. Once you smoke them, I forgot that they have a smoking recipe. I think this is a really kind of goofy recipe, honestly. Whatever. So clinker bricks are great because they have a randomized texture per block space, so they look a little more, or a little less uniform, which I really like. Fallen Bicycle's latest comment about bees just kind of floating away reminds me of my wife and I. Azuma Void was streaming and playing what was it, FTB Sky Bees or something. It was a FTB Sky block where your bee breeding was like your primary means of progression. And I remember my wife and I tried to play it and we gave up after like 25, 30 minutes because the bees just kept flying off of the sky island and dying in the void or hanging out right above the void out area. And we were just like, this is poorly thought out. We have better things to do with our time. My wife doesn't usually play a lot of Minecraft anyways, so especially not modded. So it's just like, okay, if this has already gotten her attention and has since annoyed her, your retention here was not likely, and you lost it almost immediately. Right. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Well, we'll see you next time. Almost done gathering and what I'm going to consider is enough andesite, because what sucks is I like building with andesite, but then also Create loves making you use andesite for crafting. So it's like, okay, I need to gather enough for me to do Create stuff in and then also build with, which is almost doubling my necessity for it. Can't say I expected gold down here, but okay. What did I just eat that made me eat so slowly? That's the slow eating sound. I don't think any of these things are slow eating foods. Maybe the sweat gummies, actually. I don't know about those for sure. And then once we're done with this, we're going to drink our matcha latte and go deep slate, hopefully insta-mining, but doubt. We'll see. And this is efficiency 5, so haste 2 and efficiency 5 might do it with a pickaxe that at least is a little faster than vanilla, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. We'll see. All right. Yeah, that's good. Good enough for me. That is, I'm going to sort by, normally I sort by name. I'll sort by count. Over 1,000 andesite, 300 jasper. I, again, probably would have liked more, but now that this area is carved out, it makes it very clear to me that this is a good place to do mining for these resources. Just gonna put on the light overlay to make sure I don't have things overlit, because I always forget with the new lighting rules that it's just so laid back. Like, this absolutely would spawn something normally, but it no longer does. All right, let's head down to deep slate level. I think there is... No, there's not a cave. And I might just start trying to insta-mine here. Never mind, no insta-mining for us. Can't say I was expecting to find this many diamonds. Or any. And ironically, I don't really care about them too terribly much. I'm gonna take them, but they are not a high priority to me. I won't lie, this does kind of suck. Let's see, how much? Okay, I was hoping I could at least get this little room done or something. Before the haste ran out. I don't even notice a difference with and without the haste. What the heck? Here, you can have these back. I don't like fluorite. Mind you, that is to say, I don't like mechanism reactors. Or many reactors, but specifically mechanisms. Like, if you're gonna make me do something ridiculously overboard, don't make it suck so much. Like, okay, it is realistic and I appreciate that. I'm not trying to discredit it in any way. It's just not enjoyable, especially because in most packs that they're in, you don't even need that much power. Usually. So here, you can have these back. What's that put us up to? 485 deep slate. That's fine. That's enough. Do I have a trowel still? I do. Okay. I have so many odds and ends that I need to put away, and then we'll be good. Okay. Since now we can mine, or we can process our raw ores at least in 1-to-1, it makes sense to bother with breaking these with fortune. Especially deep slate, because deep slate ore is double drop. For raw ore dropping ores, I should say. Okay. Bonk. 26 diamonds. And the usual 500 raw copper. A very normal amount, for sure. For sure. Oh, goodness, sorry. My back was starting to hurt a little bit, and I knew that I probably needed to pop it, and I did. Did I make this the stupid way? I did. You can use zinc. I knew there was a reason why that recipe was very good. Just couldn't remember what I was missing. This, however, very annoying. Once we get Create going, we'll probably set up an automated honey farm, unfortunately, for the bees. Although I will try to make it as, like, greenhousey as possible so that they at least live a good life. Very adamant that they have a happy life. So we can start working on the structure a little bit. I'm thinking, which is always dangerous. I'm leaning towards cut deep slate. I know we did a different variety, but I'm leaning towards cut, and there's a reason, and the reason is that it tiles vertically better. So cut deep slate doesn't tile. Layered deep slate tiles horizontally, but not vertically, so it would look like a sandwich. You'd have multiple lines. Whereas cut deep slate doesn't need to tile, or rather the texture already tiles, it doesn't need CTM. So let's go ahead and start trying to lay down this foundation. So let's see, it's 1, 2. I guess it doesn't really make sense to focus on this too much. Because we just want to outline this and leave this empty-ish. See, it is 1, and then, yeah, that doesn't need to be there. Another 2 here. Followed by 1. And 2 here. And this now lines all back up with where we were before. Of course, this needs some noise. We're going to add some noise. Don't worry about it too much. Oh, I don't think I knew about that. So yeah, I'm very well aware that this is a very monotonous pattern. We're going to work on that. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, and you can unchisel this, so it's like not really a big deal if we make too many. We'll have a big staircase going up. We will probably also have all of this glassed in because I think that's going to look really good. Again, for now, just being really lazy and putting in these retaining walls for the basement. And then what I'm thinking, as we saw previously, the warm and cozy palette that we were able to come up with used those brass dungeon bricks, but they used them not as the main floor, but instead as the, like, intermediary block. So we're probably going to build largely with andesite brick, or andesite of a variant. But we can incorporate some deep slate down at the bottom of this, and then we can incorporate some nimbus stone at the top. So we will tell you to keep me provided with both of these. And then I'm going to start harvesting this up. I like kind of going in chunks. I used to do it really sporadically and really randomly, but I've gotten to where I really just enjoy when there is kind of a story to tell. Like, clearly there was a damage here or something. I don't know. A little more storytelling than just, I just needed some noise, so I added it in. And already that's starting to look better. Like, this is clearly going to have potential for, like, mudsliding and rock sliding problems. So that kind of explains that a little bit, like why this is getting a little more eroded. Technically less eroded. That doesn't make as much sense when you think of it that way, but it looks sturdier, like a reinforced version more so. This stuff's weird. Building is weird. As I learn more about different methods, I become more amazed at the abilities of various people. I do think maybe something here. Obviously, most of this will be left alone. We'll just do a small splotch there because we already have some somewhere else. All right, progress. Progress. It ain't much, but it's progress. Now, right, I told you to keep auto providing, which is kind of fair enough, you know. Is this going to be too much, though, is where I'm starting to worry a little bit. I don't think the Nimbus pillar is going to be right, but I am curious. No, absolutely not. Also, it has no breaking material. I could change it up a little bit, but I just don't really love it. Maybe we just do it interspersedly, like especially on these kind of curvy spots where there's clearly a lot going on, because I feel like just the straight edge here is a little weird. I almost feel tempted to try like bricks in some of these spots instead. How does that look next to the other bricks? I'm trying to go for like an eroded-ish look. So we could do like little things to sort of offset it. Because my real goal here is just to kind of help gradiate up to the andesite that I'm going to build with. Step away for just a second. I need to blow my nose. So sorry about that. So I'm just thinking like very sparse Nimbus stone. And then everything else. Deep slate brick. Maybe. I think right now it also looks really weird because of the sandstone, which we don't need to really worry about too much. I think I like that. I think this is coming together. And then, like, it gets a lot less important around these edges. Suffice to say. So maybe we do one there, and then bricks there. Certainly doesn't look overly uniform anymore. And then, mind you, there's a lot of, like, I'm going to do a lot of exterior decorating and stuff, so I'm feeling 50-50 on that one. Let's just get into the part that I know is going to be fine. How did I get an ink sac? Rest in peace, poor guy who probably just died. Suffocated, even. So let's get started by replacing the sandstone with the layered andesite. I think that's going to really help with the picture that I'm trying to put together here. And this is what I mean, by the way, about not wanting to use this. You can see it kind of pancakes together, whereas it doesn't. It only connects on the top and sides, but not vertically. It makes it a really unique block to use. Don't get me wrong. It's not a complaint. It's just not as obvious of an answer as it may seem. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. I messed that up a little bit, so I want to make sure. How is this looking from the outside now, though? This is what I was a little bit afraid of. So let's grab some of this and sort of sprinkle it in. just to help blend it a little bit. I think it's one of those patterns that worked just fine on a smaller scale, but is struggling at a largish scale. Which is fine. I mean, it's going to happen. You're going to have those patterns that you're like, wow, this looks great, until it doesn't. It's just how it is sometimes. We can do... I feel like this is getting a little too busy, too repetitive. And I think I definitely do not like these. I think anywhere that I have these, I need to do something else. I don't really care what, just anything else. I thought they'd be fun. I don't think they are as fun as I was hoping. I will say that extra bit of noise is certainly helping quite a bit. To just kind of have this dragging a little bit of the texture down really does seem to be helping a good bit. We can even put in some just completely raw andesite to sort of deepen it further. Especially on these really large planes where there's just a lot of nothing, a lot of blandness. Yeah, that definitely looks better. I really thought those Nimbus bricks were going to carry us further. Meep, hello. Sorry, I was heads down focused on making a pattern that didn't look bad. Turns out I did not succeed. But I tried. I mean, it's fine, I guess. I just don't love it as much as I was hoping I would, but that's okay. We have other things to worry about. Like these bricks that have been smelting for about 3 to 5 business days now. Good God, why is it so slow? Okay, we're actually almost there. I'm whining for no reason. So we have walls out of the right material. Yeah, I was gonna say it should be pretty late for you, I would have thought. So good to know that I was on the money with that one. It's been good. Been very busy with work and just kind of been taking a break from streaming on a routine basis, but I still stream when I feel like it's fun or I have something that I want or need or value the input of others on. So figured this building of a large factory would be a good situation in which I could use help because I am not the best builder. I laid this out before stream, this shape. I've got this pretty view that I want to take advantage of, but the palette and everything has been a struggle. But otherwise, all good. All good. Hope you've been doing well with everything, with life. I'm going to start putting in the ceiling, I think. Or technically not the ceiling, because I do want to have like a 2-block gap between the ceiling of the basement and the floor of the first floor. But I want to at least get started with a floor so I can visualize how this is going to look. Look at those guys go. Lion. Did about a stack and a half. That's okay. Yeah, I don't think you had started PhD last time we had talked. That's wild. Good for you. Good for you. Playing with 3D printers is fun. That's, well, fun for some. I lack the patience. So for me, it's more frustrating than anything. But, man, the potential they have is just so wild. So worth it. Get rid of these because this is going to be the floor for the entranceway as well. Is this 3 wide or 2 wide? No, that is 3 wide. Okay. Worried for just a second. Just going to go ahead and put blocks underneath the dividing walls of the first floor. That way it's easier to build in chunks and sections. If I can build correctly, good heavens, what is this? See, my thinking now that we have a floor, my thinking is you'll have this big, wide 5-block hallway that goes back into these 2 little rooms on the sides. These are going to be just for whatever, odds and ends, or they're long so you can use them for conveying or whatnot. That's cool. Yeah, multi-material is, I've heard very complicated, all things considered. I have a handful of friends that work together in the headphone industry and have used like SLS to make headphone components, and it has been very interesting seeing how SLS is turning out. And they use 3D printing for a lot of little parts, like the little each pair of headphones comes with inside your ear cup comes with a model or a serial number so that you can go look up and see the frequency response for that given headphone. And so all of those little plates have been 3D printed, and he also printed he prints a whole bunch of stuff. I'm waiting on a couple of pieces printed from him because, again, I lack the patience. For a really cool project to use my old Apple iSight that I have in box with a Raspberry Pi camera module and a Raspberry Pi 02W to make my not helpful Firewire 400 camera actually usable, and it will be same-ish quality as this camera. I don't need a new camera, I just want to use my old camera because it's fun. I don't know. They're neat. Cameras are fun. I definitely like this combination because these are shiny enough that they almost look metal-y, metal adjacent. Like a really aged copper. Like they look like what is it? I say really aged. Actually, I mean quite the opposite. The first stage of aging copper. These look like they would match that. What is it? Exposed, I think. It's exposed, then weathered, then oxidized, if I can remember correctly. So I like that. That's fun. I'm gonna hide or cover all that, light all that up. Gosh, it would be nice if I could find my words today. Ooh, yeah, you're not wrong. Well, part of why I chose these two is because I don't want to use spruce with andesite, but they don't directly conflict with the look of that either. Like, they don't, it's not an eyesore. It's not great, but I know I'm going to inevitably have a place or two where I need an andesite casing to cover up something coming through the floors. So seems inevitable, at least. I didn't even realize it was 5 o'clock already. Holy. Yeah, which means it's like, what, 10, 11 for you, right? Right, Meep? I always forget if it's plus 6 hours or plus 5 hours, and it's always based off of daylight savings time, too, which always throws me off. Six, okay. Ah. The mini-map did not lie. I knew I was missing a spot somewhere. Just had to find it. Am I really one plank short? I'm gonna have to break apart one log for one plank. Rude. But yeah, I've got these from the Deep Aether mod for the floor, and then for the ceiling, not the roof, the ceiling, I've got these. Same mod. But a nice little accent, kind of pinkish. Seems like it. I don't really need a basement quite urgently, so I'm going to start working on building up the sides of this build. That does mean I need to go get my glass, and probably go make some more glass as well while I'm at it. Right, I keep it in a drawer. No, I should have enough glass, actually. And we are going to do, I think just standard framed glass is going to look the best here. Off we go. That does look pretty good, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't look perfect, but it's giving the vibe that I was wanting it to give, which is just like large industrial block. Large, good luck moving it. And then for these, we can do... Oops. We can do this, and then have just a couple of spaces for support. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that. Or do I want... I think I might want to keep these off like that and just do this instead. That way I've got one that gives me a very good clear view. And these just kind of give me that ambience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you so much. It was great to chat with you. Hopefully I will get to talk soon. Yeah, I used about 2 stacks of glass. That's about what I was expecting. And then for the rest of this, part of why I wanted big bay windows, big glass windows, is because the rest of this I'm going to have mostly wall so that I can have whatever machinery I need alongside that wall and I don't have to worry about it looking like shite from the outside, being able to see a machine pressed directly up against a piece of glass. Because that always bothers me, you know? Maybe it's just me. Who's on Forge serve right now? Oh, it's a friend of mine's partner. Cool. Anyways, let's finish up building the rest of the outer platformity things, and then we can maybe look into something. I don't know. Not sure yet. My mind is far from made up at this point. Are there like small tiled bricks? There are not. What about in rechiseled? Not really. Connecting textures for these aren't really the vibe I'm looking for. What on... That gives me a bit of a headache, I can't lie. That's fun, but not, again, not what I'm looking for. I'm wanting like small brick-sized bricks, not like... It's whatever. It's fine. We can do some pillars, though. We could probably use a few of those. Not too many, but... Actually, yeah, why not? Too many. Who cares? And let's unchisel these so that I can bring them all back together. And then for these support pieces here, what we can do is bring up andesite pillars. Do I feel like this is going to be tall enough? I do. I think that's going to be fine. I think this tree's going to have to go, but I don't want it to cut pieces of the other trees off, so I'm going to manually trim. This is completely temporary, and I don't know if I'm sticking with it. I don't think so. And then there are multiple andesite brick variants that I've noticed. There's one from Quark that is a lot rounder, and I'm thinking that might be the way to go to make it kind of look like there is some degree of... Well, those aren't even the same tone, are they? These really not the same tone? Oh, they really aren't. Holy, that is very, very distant from the actual color, isn't it? Hmm. I mean, I don't want to not use them, so I guess I'll just use them on this top layer. That's fine. And then I don't think I'm going to keep the interior walls made out of andesite like I have them now. I'm not sure what I'm going to make them out of yet, but I don't think andesite's going to be the move. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll probably do some sort of like polished wood or something interior wall, because I think that's going to look a lot better. How is the presence of this build feeling, though? Yeah, no, that's definitely the vibe I was going for. It's definitely the vibe. I'm not sure what wall to use. Definitely not that. Illwood maybe actually will work really well. Yeah, I do think I like that a good bit. And then we can do something like that pretty easily. Yeah, I think that'll work. I was not sure, but I am feeling a lot more sure. Because I like that contrast. It's just so bright over there with all that andesite that the contrast is almost required, unfortunately. It's not like it's that big of a deal. And these have such wide planks that it ends up looking really good too. Nah, this can be brick. I don't see a problem with that. think that'll be fine. We just have to make sure we have plenty of windows or else it is going to be way too dark. And then there is the roof that I'm going to use. The sunroot log, I think, is going to still look very good. But I want to test it out a little bit. All right, let's see how this looks from the inside. Definitely feel like there's too much darkness now. This is going to be potentially strange, but I almost feel like combining... Oh yeah, no, that is it. That is it. Heck yeah. That's the look. I really like that look. And it doesn't feel too woody because we do still have some of these full stone walls. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. And then we can make this a staircase, actually. Because I was sitting there wondering what the heck to do with that, and that at least gives me a better idea. And then I should still have a good bit of glass here. These have a glass pane. And we're going to use that. Yeah, that doesn't look good. All right, let's try something a little different there. Yeah, I think that'll look better. Much better. Okay, good, good. Let's finish building up these walls then, since we know these are going to work so well. Straight down the middle here, we could probably do a glass. Could be fun. I'm not sure. We'll see. Ooh, that was quite the neck crack. I don't think there's anything I can do here. I think I just have to fill this in. So we'll clear this up. And then I need to joint this a little bit, because if I don't, then it's just going to be way too much. So we can do that. That and this. Whoops. Won't lie, as much as I'm not thrilled with the quark andesite too much, it actually does look relatively good. I don't love it, but it certainly could be more offensive. So I might make like another half a stack and kind of sprinkle that in and around some. Like dirty spots almost. Because that's how it looks to me. It just looks kind of dirty. Then obviously this is just calling for big window. We'll put a painting there or something. All right, let's clean up El Inventorio. And I need to put a roof or a ceiling on this. And then we'll probably do the roof some other time because it is already a very long stream, getting late. And my poor wife has had to deal with a stinky dog this whole time. So I may do the ceiling now and then have the roof done off stream or in another stream some other time. I try not to stream too often, especially because it's my wife's day off on Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday. So I don't want her to have to spend her day off making sure the dog isn't being stupid or whatever. She feels obligated to take care of her, which is appreciated, even though the dog is more than capable of doing it herself. I can't change the way how my wife feels about that. So if that's how she feels, then I don't want her to. I don't want her stuck in that rut of I want to go do something else, but I have to sit here with the dog. You know? So we'll do the ceiling and check it out, make sure everything feels good. I think somehow we kind of nailed down a really solid color palette, which is surprising because it's also largely a modded color palette. I don't tend to do well with incorporating, like I've got a couple of color palettes in my head that always work, like 100% of the time, but they consist of mostly vanilla or vanilla plus blocks, like just small variants of a vanilla block. But I'm really happy that I've been able to incorporate 3 different types of wood, a chiseled variant that doesn't exist of a block, kind of incorporate noise to less noise to no noise so that it feels kind of natural. The progression does, at least. Am I forgetting anywhere? Yeah, the entire front, dummy. Oh, there I go falling again. I mean, you gotta admit, this view is excellent. That's why I chose to live here. I love this view. We come in, it's really tall. We have these really solid floor pieces. I'm gonna F7 and make sure I'm not missing any spawn points because I don't want anything spawning around here if I can avoid it. We will have a staircase in the front here. The back is still left up for grabs. I don't know what to do here yet, but we'll figure it out. That's what the big window is for back here, is just so that it's well lit. It doesn't feel too dark because everything's got good windowage on it for the most part. Like, it doesn't feel shut in, I guess is really what I mean. This room feels excellent. Like, I'm very happy with how this feels and looks. And then the downstairs is a nightmare, but that's fine. Oh, you're done. That's a surprise. And then we'll make a staircase down here and finish it and whatever at some point, again, on or off stream. I don't know. I just play on stream when it's fun. So, you know, we'll see when it's fun, I guess. Let's finish lighting this all up. I'll try to be relatively uniform about the way that I light this, but 0, count them, 0 promises. We can put a torch there and there, which for sure will get most of this. Cool. Yeah, that should do it. Well, as usual, I think this turned out pretty good, but I always feel like I've got room for improvement. That doesn't surprise me. I always feel like I need to improve somehow. Which is probably good. I don't want to stagnate. We will, of course, decorate. I'll probably use spruce trapdoors around the outside because there's not a lot of presence of wood on the outside. And then we'll bush everything up and make it all look good. Incorporate everything as much as we can. You know, it's kind of just how we do. Anyways, you guys. Oh, that is... that does not fit. Whatever. Anyways, you guys, I appreciate the company while I figured all this out and got all this done. Hope you guys had fun. Apologies for the hiccup in the very, very beginning of stream. And if you are watching the VOD, I hope you're having a great day and that this is the vibe you are looking for just to study or, I don't know, fall asleep to. I don't care. Anyways, you guys take care of yourselves. Love you all, and I will